Also tonight, new details on the deadly outbreak of Ebola. As the virus continues to spread, the president today ramping up renewed efforts to fight the virus in West Africa. But are the efforts enough to stop the spread from coming here? We're covering all the angles tonight with Avik Roy, a senior fellow at the Manhattan Institute, and Dr. Bob Lahita. He is the vice president and chairman of the Newark Beth Israel Medical Center. Welcome to you both. I have to tell you, too, the president very strong on his comments today. He's going to send 3,000 servicemen and women over to West Africa to deal with this. He wants to spend a lot of money fighting it. He sounded very strong this afternoon. Listen to this.
In West Africa, Ebola is now an epidemic of the likes that we have not seen before. It's spiraling out of control. It is getting worse. It's spreading faster and exponentially.
And we're talking about an exponential rise possibly in the Ebola virus. And it's shocking how these numbers go up and up. Avik, to you, what do you make of the CDC's remarks, what they're saying to institutions all over the country today? They sound, and I'll just read from some of their material, while we are not aware of any domestic Ebola virus cases, now is the time to prepare, as it is possible that individuals with Ebola in West Africa may travel to the U.S., exhibit signs and symptoms of Ebola, and present to facilities. And from what I understand, there's a 21-day incubation period, so you may not even show signs at the airport. It could be some time before you're actually contagious and presenting signs. What do you think of the government's response here?
I mean, I think it's been measured. I mean, it's not time to panic yet. We do have an immigration system, particularly when it comes to air travel, that is generally pretty good at monitoring these kinds of situations and being careful about them. And while this Ebola outbreak has been by far larger than any we've seen before, we have to remember why those other Ebola outbreaks did not become mega gigantic problems. And it's because the Ebola virus, you get so sick, you don't tend to travel. Yes, there's an incubation period, but typically if you're in a particular community, you're not going out. So it's a bigger problem today because this outbreak has the potential to go into cities. But I don't think we are yet at the point where we should worry about that outbreak reaching the United States.
Dr. Bob, you call it the new plague, possibly. You seem very concerned about it. We were noting this afternoon that there are some 200,000 Africans who hold temporary U.S. visas. Should there be stronger protections already in place for Americans?
Well, I don't know if there are, but I would hope that there would be. I would hope that the immigration and naturalization agents that we see at the airports that we meet when we come from another country. The problem is that a lot of Africans, a lot of tourists, etc., go to Europe and then leave from Europe to come to the United States. And my concern is that the precautions that are being taken are probably inadequate. We
talked a lot about the possibility of Ebola mutating so that it's passed through the air and not the way it is now, which takes a lot longer to move. But one of my concerns tonight, 3,000 servicemen and women going to this area. How are we going to keep them safe?
Well, they're going to take the appropriate precautions. They're going to presumably know. I mean, right now, the Ebola virus is only transmitted through fluids, not through the air. So that should protect them if they take the appropriate precautions. But, and in terms of the risk of mutations, it's theoretically possible, but we have not seen evidence of that to date. So again, this is a serious problem. I'm glad the president is reacting to it. He took less time to react to this.
This was the right steps.
Yeah, like I wish he'd been that quick in reacting to ISIS. But in general, he's doing the right steps, and let's just root for those servicemen to
well, we always do here, Avik. Avik and Dr. Lahita, thank you for coming on tonight. Great stuff. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.